Hello, children. Hello. How's it going? Hope you're all doing well.
It's going.
We're gonna get started soon.
Great.
Okay.
I'm doing spectacular. Did I send you Destiny Lord? Oh yeah, I did send you Destiny Lord.
Yes, you did.
I was thinking about it. Very good lore. The Book of Unveiling, brother.
Okay.
What was I? Oh.
My apps. Hey, shout out to Acas for keeping me logged in.
Good job.
For the first time in months.
Okay. All right. I got the runish down kinda over here. We'll do
305.
we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this.
Manscape.
It's a piece of cake.
Stand
out above the crowd, even if you gotta shout out loud.
305, god damn it. That's a lot of podcasts, brother.
That's like 6 years of podcasts.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I think we're about ready to get started. I've tweeted. I
I'm
have
gonna
this.
get shot for that for
Let's
that
test the
music.
music. Yeah, hang on. Let me get the music.
Oh, this is some itchy stuff happening here.
This video's gonna get so demonetized.
You guys see that?
Yeah, is this the one? Like, is it going to get quieter at some point though?
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh.
They won't do that.
I'm
I'm definitely not just
gonna-
fixing it now. All right.
Oh, Jeff, what would you do without me?
I don't know. Experience joy.
If your advice on marriage is gonna.
All right, let's see here. Where is this? Because this one is called Intro, April 2018, 25-second overlap. So what would I name the one that is actually useful?
Game S decides intro. How about that? You
Well,
ever
there's I
consider that?
definitely have one of those named that. It's not the right one anymore.
Get rid
Okay.
of the old ones.
Well, then what? We're gonna delete our history?
Yeah,
I
wow.
Okay. Podcast.
check.
Podcast.
Podcast.
Pogcast. Pog juice cast.
Should we just go with this? Should we believe in this one maybe? This one looks.
Why don't you just try it? Why don't you listen to it? What do you mean believe in it?
But that's like
intro.
a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. It's
That's
a good
waste of
it's a good use of time.
That
It's definitely a
would
good
be the
use of
biggest
time.
waste
And
of
yet somehow
time.
it
That's what
feels
this
like
is
a waste of
for.
time. If
Oh my
all right, let's see. You guys, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not.
I can hear it.
You guys, okay, let's find out together. All right.
All right,
All right, I know this is a giant waste of our time right now.
Buckle up,
Yes, you,
Chad.
you can't skip a little bit. That's true.
Skipped ahead. All right. God
Yeah,
damn
I
it.
guess we're just playing the whole thing.
Oh, it's the right
wow.
one. We
That's
found
nice.
it.
There we go.
We did it.
Is that the right
40-second
one? Yeah.
overlap is the right one. Okay. Let's see here. So we'll copy that path, put it in over here. This is easy. Running a
Yeah, we're good
podcast
at
is
this.
easy, everybody.
We're good at this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the outro is still good. And they're both set to the right bus. Okay. That means we're ready to get started. If you're ready,
I had
Mike.
the same.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Got my Daisy button.
He's got the
Gross.
Daisy button. All right.
Gross. Oh, that's an
There.
actually Daisy button. I thought he was talking about other things.
Oh, you're
He wouldn't know
gross.
where to find that Daisy button.
All right. All right.
All right. Let's count it in. Let's
We
fucking
have to be inappropriate now.
Right.
What she's look, when she's Elvin's Daisy, it'll be easier.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Do you think Elephant Mario smell his nuts with his trunk?
And let's get started.
I'm gonna
In
die.
5, 4, 3. Internet, you're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is
Mike Minotti.
In today's episode, the music got quieter on its own because we're professionals, and this is our 305th podcast or something. It's easy.
Oh, just on this just this podcast.
Just
we
this
did
show.
100 of the other one.
Got 100 of the other one. Holy shit. Yeah, Mike, how are you doing?
I'm good now. Nothing can stop us now. Yeah, I'm feeling fantastic. There are new 3D models of Gino and Mallow out there in the world.
There's new
fine.
3D models of Gino and Mallow. There's a new 2D character design for Mario that actually looks like they care about Mario, which is strange.
You
for
said these
Nintendo.
things would make you shit your pants.
I mean, those are the two things. We got them both. Little skid marks, at least. Come on.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, that counts. I'm 40. Yeah, we'll get to that in today's episodes and all that. But I mean, it was a pretty good direct. We obviously have predictions on Last of the Nintendogs on Tuesday. I think for the most part, by kind of sticking to what we've heard and what was out there, it didn't look too bad.
I mean, to be fair, we did just throw out every single rumor that's been out there for like the last year. It turns out the most recent rumors were the correct ones.
Yes, exactly.
For sure.
But I was very excited about that. But yeah, we'll get into all that. Let's get the credits out of the way. Thank you for joining us. You can get more from Mike and me by joining the Discord at GameMess.net. Give us a good rating wherever you are listening, and hit that like button on YouTube. It really does help people find the show. If you want to ask us a question, you could do so by dropping a super chat during the show here on YouTube while we're live. We'll get to all of those before the end. Thank you to Carlos Ain, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube, for the use of our theme songs. Thank you to One Up vs. CPU for our artwork here on the show. You can find more of him at oneupvscpu.com. We are on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and wherever pods are caught. Feel free to subscribe to the audio version of the show. Thank you to our mods, and support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to our private channels in the Discord, the monthly Q&A, 1 month early access to our Jeopardy game, participation in our monthly game club discussions, and of course, all of our shows ad-free. Okay, Mike, big direct that happened this week between our two shows here that we do each and every week. And so we're going to discuss it here. We already discussed it pretty much, like we went beat by beat on Game Mess Morning. So I figured instead, why don't we just kind of talk about our overall feelings and what we're happiest about, all that stuff. Why don't you go ahead and start?
Oh yeah, I think that's a good approach here, because it did kind of start off like a slow direct. What was that very first thing? Oh, it was Pokemon DLC.
Yeah, Pokemon DLC, and then there was some other stuff that was
it was immediately
underwhelming.
like Sonic Superstars and like stuff
known
like
quantities
kind of,
and yes, exactly.
I was like kind of getting a little nervous there, but gosh, it kind of turned around fast. Then the format for the show was kind of, here's like a real big announcement that's very exciting, and then here's kind of some filler for a bit, maybe not so exciting. Then here's another big announcement and filler, but the big announcements were really cool, and the new stuff we got to hear about was super fun. But even the big attractions here are Mario RPG Remake, which, as much as I freaked out, Jeff, and I freaked out a lot, I wonder how much I would have freaked out if that rumor wasn't spreading like a week ago.
Oh, I know. I was, when it happened, it's like, oh my God, it's here. Had I not known, I would have, I think I probably would have been like you were.
Because there was one of our listeners was saying, I forget who, sorry, they were mentioning that they asked us about this at some point. Like, do you think they'll remake Mario RPG back when we were complaining about it not being NSO? We were both like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been my stance.
Yeah,
like, no, of course they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just would never have thought it possible. But, man, I mean, you could watch the Giant Bomb Reacts. As soon as I heard that music, I knew what it was, and I just lost my mind. I don't know if like the closest to me forget that much was when we got the 3D Kirby game, when that was announced back when. Maybe the last time I popped that hard. but man, that is just still just so exciting, and it looks like they're absolutely nailing it. You got that super squanchy, crunchy Mario. He's the little goblin. Got all my boys in there. They show this is a great trailer. They know what the highlights of that game are, and we got to see a lot of them. Very excited to play through this one again. And then the other big thing, 2D Mario, make that interesting. It looks like they're making it interesting.
Yep, it looks like they are making choices, strong choices. Yes. There's been a lot of great stuff of people like looking at the animation for Mario. And when you do compare it to the new Super Mario Brothers stuff, which someone has done for like a lot of his like key movements, just like the butt stomp or whatever, the butt stomp in Wonder is an actual like visual stylistic choice of his butt coming down and big
stylistic
sparks.
Butt.
Yeah, what's that?
Stylistic butt.
His stylistic butt coming down and sparks shooting off of it and
grunts.
stuff.
He's like,
yes, he grunts and grinds that butt, and it's like, oh man, it looks like it's making an impact. New Super Mario Brothers, as good as those games feel, and I do think they feel pretty good, it feels disconnected looking at what Mario's doing. He just sort of the sprite or the 3D model just falls down and doesn't really have any oomph to it. And and for Wonder, everything works that way. It all looks like it's so well thought out, and it just looks gorgeous. I really am. The more I watch that trailer, and I've watched it a bunch of times now, the more and more I am into it. I love 2D Mario as much as I like 3D Mario. I know you have your preferences for 3D Mario.
Sure.
But I mean, obviously, even people who love 3D Mario more still love 2D Mario for the most part. I think that for me, this was just like, oh, I'm going to be super into this. This is reigniting a passion for 2D Mario that I've sort of put to the side because it felt like we weren't going to get one ever, really. And I'm glad that we're getting this, and it looks so good.
Right. I do like the 3D Marios more, but I still like 2D Mario games a lot.
Right.
But, the stagnation of the new Super Mario Brothers series is sort of part of like where that, gap widened for me. So seeing this looking a lot more interesting. Just how many different playable characters there are too. My mind races like, okay, so obviously Mario and Yoshi have that special interaction where Mario can ride Yoshi. Are there going to be sort of other interesting ways characters can interact with each other specifically? How is Daisy going to control it differently from Peach? Because we never really played her in a game like this before. I mean, the fact that Daisy is in there is really cool. Yeah, just a lot to be excited about. This is the perfect holiday game. We've been wondering for a long time, what's the big holiday game? And obviously, we got some other things like Mario RPG, but this is clearly the flagship. I think it's going to be a pretty strong one. Yep,
I am I'm very much looking forward to this. This is the October release, right?
October 20th. It's the same day as Spider-Man 2. I remember
right,
that.
Yes, in that range. That is okay. Fantastic. So I thought the second half of this year was already kind of getting pretty built up. It was not as heavy hitting as the first half of this year has been. And now it's getting more and more filled out, and there's games I'm looking forward to every month for the rest of the year. And a lot of times, like October, there's multiple games I'm looking forward to, and that's coming weeks after the biggest game in the world in Starfield. So just going to be nonstop.
It's just, man, it's looking more and more like we are just going to get to like the December and just be talking about how this was an all-time great year. Because, like stuff like this, there's very little chance that this game's going to be bad, the 2D Mario game. Even the new Super Mario Brothers games, despite like you said, a lot of the staleness there and like the visuals, they're still good games. This has the ability to be an amazing game. And Mario RPG, it's just a remake of Mario RPG. Like, again, just looking at what they're doing and knowing what game that is, like, well, that's going to be great. There's very little question there. So, yeah, I am just excited.
Let me fix that real quick. This is the image I was talking about that has those comparisons.
Right.
And, you just see there's so much more deliberateness. Like, the crouching one here is, like, the most obvious, where in the new Super Mario Brothers games, he just crouches. And here, he's, like, pulling down on his hat.
So much.
It's like there's so much more character there.
Just the facial expressions. And that's like, some people are like, oh, I wish it looked more like those like manual illustrations that we used to have, right? And it's like, tell you what it looks like.
It's pretty close. I think it's a video game interpretation of those ideas.
Sure.
But it's definitely informed by that kind of Mario. And the way his animation actually, his run animation there, like look at the sprint from New Super Mario Brothers, where he's leaning forward, he's doing the Naruto run.
He is doing a Naruto run.
The one from Wonder is much more just like he looks in the instruction manuals in terms of just like that happy stand up run. Yeah. And again, that butt stomp, same thing. The hat falls down over his eyes. It just looks so good.
Just the expressiveness in general. It's awesome. Gosh, I'm excited for this. Cannot wait.
Yep, me too. Okay, so more Super Mario RPG. So we did talk about how like, oh, that's okay, here's what I'm wondering. I think it looks great. I have seen small backlash in terms of people saying I like the way the original looks, which is something I completely can appreciate.
I mean, this always happens. I mean, you ultimately were like that with Link's Awakening.
And Advanced Wars. Well, I came around on Link's Awakening. It was like, that's something different, and that's okay. Advanced Wars, I'm like, I definitely prefer the original. Here, I'm like, I think they are doing a pretty strong interpretation of the original art style, and it works really well for me, but I get it if it doesn't work for everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's fair. But I think for me, this is maybe actually just a straight up upgrade. I mean, you do forget how jagged looking a lot of those were going to just make Silicon graphics models into sprites. Look, it is a look, and it was cool at the time. This is such a faithful translation of that anyways. I don't really have any problems. Maybe someday too, I'm going to be like, oh, I like the original better for this or that. In some sense, too, it's almost not even about that, Jeff. It is just about this game being new again, knowing people are going to be playing this game and talking about it again, right? That's like a big part of the excitement.
Yes, and I mean, they definitely are trying to do exactly what you said, like a straight up upgrade. Like that's what they're going for. Let me see if I can get this open image in new tab. This is what it looks like. I'll move it down a little bit. Let me move it down real quick so you see it better. It looks. This is what the new one looks like. And for people who are listening on audio, it's set up exactly like the characters were on the original cover. Yes, this is the cover art. And you can see, like, I think that it probably would have been the wrong decision to go for exactly these Silicon graphics models that are on the cover of Super Mario RPG. I like them, but I do not think these actually play to a wider audience in 2023. What we're actually getting feels like a smart interpretation of those models. I'm glad they're letting Mario even be different. Like he's off model from like New and from Wonder and from everything else. He's squanchier, just like he looks in here. And it's like, okay, so they're still like letting it stand out on its own. And then I think Mallow and Gino look so good. They look so good that everything else falls into place for me. Like that's really kind of where it all comes together for me. So I'm very, very happy about Super Mario RPG, a game that I've always loved, and apparently Special Nick has known that they were remaking this for forever and didn't tell me about it. So I think I'm pretty mad at my boy Nick over there.
He says he just didn't know that we cared, but
he should have known.
He should have known.
You should have known.
We forgive you, Nick. We forgive you, Nick.
I don't know if I do. I don't know.
I forgive you, and my forgiveness is the only one you need. God,
That's true.
You're right. Mal and Gino. Like there was that Gino fan render going around a bit ago that looked good. It, basically almost looked like this. I remember thinking, man, God, I wish that was real. And just like Pinocchio, my wish came true. He's a real boy, damn it.
He's a real boy.
Oh my God, a talking puppet, Mamma Mia,
Mamma Mia. So, okay, those are the two games that I kind of needed, like I said, on Tuesday. If I get those two, I'll shit my pants. I needed those two games for this direct to really, really pop off. They delivered. They're coming this year. I'm very, very happy. The rest of the direct is kind of whatever. It doesn't need to be anything more than what it was, though, for me to be happy with it.
Still some cool stuff. That Penny something from the Sonic Mania people, that 3D platformer.
Yes.
That looks
Penny's
really
Breakaway, Penny's Big Breakaway, something like that.
Yeah, so that looks really cool. There's that Goemon inspired game that was only in the Japanese direct that
right.
That is exciting. I mean, I don't know why I'm this excited about it, but I'm very excited about the idea of playing Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 and even the original version of 3.
I'm very glad they announced that instead of like holding on to it for years like they sometimes do with these things, these companies. So like the Batman, like the Batman one, like took forever to come out.
Right. We got that look at Pikmin 4 we wanted, and we got the surprise drop of Pikmin 1 and 2. I think Star Ocean second story R, that looks awesome.
It's
I'm very
HD
excited
2D,
about that.
very cool looking. I think that every time I see HD 2D, I'm glad it's not just one interpretation of HD 2D. It feels like they have different ways of applying those ideas depending on the game. And what they're doing with Star Ocean's second story is fantastic. It looks so intriguing.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited for that. So yeah, there's a lot to be excited. Again, most of the stuff is actually this year. I think Penny's Breakaway or whatever is actually
2024, right?
2024. And then there's like, the Princess Peach game, and we didn't hear very much about. And
right. So these two games,
Dark Moon next year.
Yeah, I asked Jan today as we were kind of wrapping up more Nintendo Direct thoughts, and I'm wondering what you think. Do those feel like they need to announce them now so that they are on the books when people know they're coming, so that when the next Switch successor gets announced and starts taking up all the oxygen in the room, people are like, well, we already know there's more Switch games coming. It's those two, and then they don't get lost in the shuffle of Switch 2 announcements. Do you think that's what's happening there, or is it just this is just them getting out ahead of it for some other reason?
Maybe. I mean, like that Princess Peach game, I think looks good. It could be really good, but it does have something of a very late release feel to it. And I think I pointed this out before. One of the last 3DS games was a Luigi's Mansion 1 remake, right? So that feels very similar over here. I mean, yeah, this is probably the last big direct we have without at least a mention of new hardware, I feel like. And I'm not saying the next is going to have like a big blowout on that stuff, but it's going to start feeling weird now if we don't hear about that.
It could very well, like, the next direct could be in a world where Nintendo has mentioned it. Like, maybe it doesn't get mentioned specifically in the direct, but like it will be looming larger because we're probably going to have a conference call with investors where it gets brought up more explicitly, or they could start doing the actual teases. And the ongoing rumors that haven't changed all year is that they are going to at least mention the next device before the end of this year. What does that mean? I really, really don't know. I would expect it to mean something similar to what they did last time, which is a teaser trailer that comes out this year, and then sometime next year we get the full blowout of them actually revealing what the system is and how it works. So we'll see. But it does feel like, yes, those games are wrapping up the Switch, and they kind of felt obligated to do something with them now, even though it seemed too early for them to be talking about them the way that they presented them. Because other things are going to force their hand. So yeah, that's where we're at. And that makes a lot of sense for where we're at with the Switch. So yeah. Right.
And there's like certain games that have been rumored for a bit that we haven't seen that I now kind of do expect for Switch 2. I think Metroid Prime 4 is maybe a Switch 2, probably a Switch 2 game at this point. And I think that the next 3D Mario is almost certainly a Switch 2 game, if not a Switch, probably a Switch launch game. Like that, it is still important to them, I think, to have some kind of big launch game. It certainly isn't going to be Zelda. It's not going to be a 2D Mario. So I think it's very likely that that's what the 3D Mario team's been up to. Whether that's like somehow a Donkey Kong related project also, I don't know. But whatever they're working on, I bet Mario is a part of it, and it's going to be a launch game.
That sounds right to me. Any other thoughts about the Nintendo Direct, Mike? You kind of went through and touched on all the big games that I wanted to mention, so I'm good. But any other thoughts?
A lot of 2D platformers. It's so very fun that we're going to have that Sonic game and Mario Wonder come out at the same time, and Disney Illusion Island. So a lot of 2D platforms for Switch. Black
Card Vinyl, who watches our stuff and follows us on Twitter and posts some fun stuff. He did a TikTok I saw where he explained that Mario Wonder, Sonic, Superstars, and Disney Illusion Island all have 4-player co-op, and all of them are local only. There is no online co-op for any of those games. And it's like, that is a weird and a little bit frustrating trend, especially when it feels like online connectivity between for games like that have gotten to the point where it should be like easy to pull off. Not easy. It should be a much better experience than it's ever been before. I remember we tried to do Super Mario 3D World, the multiplayer with that, and there was such a delay in everything that it really made that game feel very frustrating to play.
Yeah, I remember no one had a good time, actually.
No one had a good time. But it's like, then we go play games like Street Fighter 6, and obviously they're not going to do netcode like Street Fighter 6, but it took a while for Capcom to get really good at this. Still, though, it's like we know it's possible. I kind of want them to keep trying to make it work, but it feels like the trend is going in the other direction. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, certainly, at least for this console, it does just feel that way, right? Especially for non-fighting games. It's a bit of a bummer. Personally, it's just not going to impact me too much if I play those games online. It is probably going to be with people locally, so I'll be okay, but I understand people's frustrations there. hopefully, so we always say it's hopefully the next system will be better with some of this stuff. But I'm not even sure if it's system related. That may just be developer related. I guess.
Yeah, it feels like it's
don't
just people are these companies are making choices about where they're investing their time and efforts, and that they think it's not worth it.
And it's one thing for like the Disney Illusion Island team, which maybe isn't a giant team. Weird that Nintendo and Sega can't have online multiplayer,
especially when they Nintendo at least has done it in the past, and it's kind of like, man, this is the next big 2D Mario game. Can't we get it there? All right, I guess not.
Imagine if online, because there's 6 playable characters now, right? Imagine if it had 6 player support. Imagine that hellscape. That would rule.
That would be a nightmare, and it would rule. Okay. So that's the Nintendo Direct. If you have any questions...
Sorry, Sandwich Jones just made me laugh. John Drake made that game in a cave with a box of scraps.
With a box of scraps. Oh, man. I'm going to yell that. Just out of, with no context, the next time I see John Drake, 50 times, I'm going to yell that
I'm glad that line became a meme, because, the first time I saw that movie, it was that was a really strong delivery of that line. That was the line I kind of was still rattling in my brain when I left that theater.
Oh, yeah, I definitely it's definitely one of those ones that I just yell to myself randomly when my brain is just barely firing in the morning. Yes. And I'm trying to my brain's just latch onto something from your memory. And here's a fun line. Yeah. Okay, so that's the Nintendo Direct. If you have any more questions though about it, you guys want us to touch on any of the other subjects or any of the other games that was one of your favorites that we missed, hit us with Super Chat. We'll get to it before the end of the show. Other stuff is happening this week, including Xbox Series X and Game Pass price increases. So,
fun.
I'm going to do this from memory. Game Pass is going up from $10 to $11. Ultimate's going up from $15 to $17. The Xbox Series X is going up around the world with some exceptions, which include the United States and Chile and a few other countries. Yeah. What were you going to say?
Nothing.
Okay.
What do you mean? What made you think I was going to say something?
You just took an intake of breath, like you were getting ready to say something. And then
no, I just needed to breathe.
Oh, weird. That's unfortunate. $17 for Ultimate matches the price of PlayStation Plus Extreme, whatever the fuck it's called, the top tier one. The $11 for the base version of Game Pass. Yeah, I guess that's a $1 extra. I don't really feel that too much, but we knew this was going to come. Everyone knows that prices go up for everything. I'm sort of at a point where I'm like, yeah, this kind of makes sense. And yet, if you feel like that's too much, you want to cancel, you should just cancel. Why wouldn't you? Go ahead, cancel. It's not like there's any, you don't lose anything, really. Yeah, you lose access to those games, but if you want to play them, just resubscribe or buy the games that you're missing out on. It's just, it feels like, okay, if they're going to raise the price, I will be a little bit more conscious about when I am letting my subscription renew. And I think that's completely fair. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I don't know, it's hard to say because it doesn't happen to us, and I almost have survivor's guilt that U.S. always is exempt from a lot of these price increases for some reason.
Well, we are getting the price increases for Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate.
We are getting for Game Pass, yeah, for the console. Yeah, I mean, look, you're right. That's happening everything, and it does kind of suck. It also, I don't know. I'm at this with so many of these things, right, where I'm trying to balance my being upset with also it seems like everybody's having a hard time making money from everything. And of course, it's like, oh, well, look at those billionaire CEOs. Can we maybe take from that instead? And that's not going to happen. So I understand everybody's frustration. There's no way to spin it into a good thing, I guess.
No, it's a price increase. Like those always
it's
suck.
A price increase, and that's bad.
Yeah, it's bad, and it's but they've happened on everything. So I think I'm past the point of being surprised. It's like, oh yeah, of course this was going to happen.
Bayleaf said, in chat, Bayleaf Moon, the price increase made me realize how little I actually use Game Pass and cancel it. That's always, I think, the threat.
Yes.
You're going to have a lot of lapsed subscribers who aren't thinking about it very much, maybe. And as soon as you increase the price and make them think about how much am I actually using this thing, I think that's where it can get a little dangerous.
Yeah, and I think they know that, and I think that they are willing to accept that risk because Starfield is coming, and I think they feel very confident. About Starfield. I think that's what is reflected by all this stuff because they're doing this between E3 and the release of Starfield, and they're doing it as all this FTC stuff is happening. Clearly, they're just like, this is the best move for us to make the most money going forward, and I that makes sense because of what they've said repeatedly, which is we've pretty much saturated what we can do with Game Pass on console, and that's where the price is going up. PC Game Pass is staying the same price, so they are looking to make money from the console audience while continuing to gather new users on PC. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially when we know Starfield is going to actually move a significant number of.
It's irresponsibly large.
It's irresponsibly large, yes. So that's the other thing that happened this week is the FTC versus Microsoft court case about the injunction.
Drama.
The courtroom drama has
They showed
kicked off.
Tam, right? Tam was part of this.
There was a
somehow.
video where Tam was interviewing Pete Hines, yeah, and Tam was up there multiple times, which is very fun. The big takeaway here is they are finally putting their executives out there to make the arguments we've heard all along. The FTC is taking the position that we kind of knew what they would take, but it still feels a little bit odd because we know that Call of Duty isn't really going to go exclusive. But the FTC is arguing, you said you wouldn't, or basically like you said some stuff along the lines of, oh, maybe we won't make all the stuff exclusive with Bethesda, and now all that stuff is exclusive. And it's like they never said they wouldn't do that, really. But the FTC is just kind of using that as an example. And so they're like, okay, so you're going to do that with Call of Duty. Even Jim Ryan has like now been shown to say he knows that that's not going to happen in like a private email. He's like, this isn't an exclusivity play. They're not going to take Call of Duty away from PlayStation. And even if, no matter what, we're going to be fine. And he's like, we're going to be better than fine. So it's like in his private emails, that's what he's saying. And yet the FTC is kind of continuing to have to pretend like this is something that could happen. And the arguments they're making are effective to a point because they're talking to people like Pete Hines and saying, hey, like, why are these games that when you were an independent publisher came out on everything, now they're just on Xbox? And what about this email where internally you said, hey, why is Call of Duty get to be you're going to acquire Call of Duty and that's going to continue to be on everything, but we're told we have to keep putting stuff on Xbox? So internally, Microsoft's people are still having conversations about these things. They don't have one consistent answer, and the FTC is trying to exploit that. But in the end, we know Call of Duty is not going to suddenly go and not be on PlayStation anymore. They're just not going to do that. So the FTC's got to argue against reality a little bit, and it seems like it's going to have a tough chance overcoming that. I just wonder, like, who's the burden of proof on? Is the burden of proof on the FTC to say that is something that will definitely happen, or is the burden of proof on Microsoft to say we are going to promise not to do that in the future? And I guess that's going to determine actually what happens with this court case. Did you follow it at all today, Mike? Were you like looking at people tweeting from the Zoom call or whatever?
It's like seeing the tweets, and it's it's a bit of back and forth mudslinging. Not that there aren't facts in there. It's a little juicy, like seeing these private emails, be like, oh, Matt Booty said fuck, right? Stuff like that. But it's just. I still just don't know which way it's going. I really don't. So I am kind of just sort of sitting over here waiting to like get the word on where this is actually going.
Of course, because we are getting so much insider sort of communications, and because these executives have to answer truthfully, I think most of them are under oath. I guess I don't know exactly how that works. I won't pretend to be some courtroom expert, but they are seemingly answering truthfully when asked about things like Indiana Jones. They are telling truths that they have not said elsewhere. For example, Indiana Jones is going to be exclusive to Xbox, and it wasn't originally, even through the acquisition, going to be on PlayStation as well. And Microsoft renegotiated that deal so they could get it exclusively on Xbox. It's like, oh, wow, okay, that's a pretty big change and a pretty big move. So it makes some sense. That game was so far out that it was going to be long past that window of when it like felt right for games that Bethesda was working on beforehand to still be going to PlayStation. But yeah, I think that also probably doesn't help Microsoft's case too much. But I don't know, at this point, who cares about that? Indiana Jones exclusive to Xbox. Yeah, I don't know. Does that do anything for you? Does it make it sound like they're going to give it extra love?
Oh, I mean, I don't know about extra love. I think all the Bethesda stuff is going to be getting a little extra love after Redfall.
I think that's right. Yes.
Sure. So, I mean, there should be a lot of love going into the Indiana Jones game, regardless of what platforms it's releasing on. They also, at some point, I forget if it was an email or what, where they just straight up said they're expecting new consoles in 2028 is when we'll get the next stuff, which is like about right. That's 8 years, and that's kind of the life cycle we're on now. Yeah,
I think so. It was 8 years for the the Xbox 360, right? Was that 8 years?
I'm trying to think. Xbox 360 was 2005 to when did the Xbox
2013.
One come out? 2013. That was 8 years.
So and then the next was like 7-ish years because they were way underpowered, and I think they went a little bit faster. So it's because 2020, right? So it's 2013 to 2020. So 7 to 9 years feels like the time frame that we're in for these console cycles now. I always think it's funny when people are like, it's going to be 5 years soon. We're going to get a new console. It's like, do you still think we're on
it hasn't been like that. Games take longer than 5 years to make now.
Exactly,
like,
yeah. But people are still like, my NES had 5 years, and then I got a Super Nintendo. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Ago.
What are you talking about?
So I understand that we kept that cycle for so long.
Sure.
It almost felt like something that had to be.
Right, but like we've almost been out of that cycle for as long as we were in it. Like that's
at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yes, 7 to 9 years feels right. 2028 is probably actually when we do get the new consoles. There's mid-gen refreshes seem likely or possible at the very least.
I began to think they're a little bit more likely now that I'm getting all these 30 frames per second games. Before I was like, no way, and now I'm like, oh, maybe.
Same. That's kind of where I'm at too now, because it's like, now here we are, and they could sell they could sell me another thing promising 60 frames per second, and I would show up.
Yeah, because before I was like, what is the pitch going to be? What, like 8K, blah blah blah.
Nope.
I mean, the pitch from the beginning was 60 FPS, and it turns out, well, that was maybe just, I don't want to say a lie, but lie adjacent. So now we need the actual 60 FPS consoles, for at least for the next few years before the next one comes out. And the cycle continues, I guess.
So yeah, Indiana Jones won't be coming to PlayStation is the short version of that. That's
one second. I'm sorry, but Beef Humor Chat says, Jeff, look me in the eye and tell us Switch 2 in 2025 now. Can I just go ahead and say, I actually think it'll be insane if a Switch 2 doesn't come out 2024. I don't think they can wait till 2025. No way.
I think it's coming out in late 2024 now, but it's Nintendo, and who knows?
It's Nintendo. 2025 just seems irresponsibly long to me.
I mean,
persistent. It's still very good games coming out, but it seems like it must be reaching the end.
This direct felt so much like stamp on the Switch. Now we've gotten the message out about the games we need to get messages about for the Switch out there. We can begin to shift now in a really strong way. And it's like doing that now and then waiting until 2025 to actually launch the thing. That feels crazy. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we are on the road to WrestleMania. We're on the road to a new Switch. Okay, those are the big stories I wanted to talk about. I don't know. Is there anything else from this past week that stuck out to you, Mike, that we should hit up before we move on?
Hey, that Fire Emblem Game Boy Advance games out on NSO as we went live. So that happened.
As we went live. That always is how it works. It's usually during this show, right? Game Must Decide, Nintendo launches their stuff.
Maybe it even happens. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's always before Game Must Decide. It's right at 9 o'clock. That's when NSO stuff happens for some reason.
Fair enough. It's like we shop Wednesdays. It's just a tradition. Okay. We are going to come back, and when we come back, we are going to do another game draft, a console draft. This time we are going to do for portables, starting with anything that has Game Boy in the title. So we'll get to that.
And don't forget all these super chats, Jeff. We should do that.
And then
first
before we do that, we'll read all the super chats.
Do we have a bop game? I think we might have a bop game.
Oh, if we have a bop game, we'll do that as well. All right, we'll get to all of that right after this. All right, Mike, hang on real quick.
Oh, I was going to go. You all tell him I had to go to the bathroom, get a drink when he comes back. He's yelling at children right now, I think. Actually, no, that looks like a real conversation. He might be talking to his wife. I'm speculating. Yeah, that's not talking to children.
Yeah.
He's talking to a grown-up right now.
You only yell at children. So that's the you never talk to them.
This is a real conversation. I'll be right back.
What? No, fuck you. No, fuck you.
You okay over there?
No, fuck you. No, I'm just reading his sleeps. What's he saying?
You're doing like a bad lip.
I'm working here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's mad.
Okay.
Look at him.
Hello. All right. There we go.
Hi.
There we have it.
Did they miss the anchovies or something?
What's that? Anchovies? What?
We'll try and figure out what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about anchovies. Big anchovy conversation over here. No, there's just like a list of stuff I got to do after I'm done with the show. I left the lawnmower out and it's going to rain, so I got to go put that away. And what else was there? There was, I should empty the cat litter. That's the other thing, because the trash was coming tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
It's got chores to do. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. Was Mike going potty?
He is.
I don't know. He was doing something.
He wanted us to tell you that.
no. So my lawnmower is I have one of those battery powered lawnmowers. So I could be in the middle of it, and then the batteries die, and then I got to charge them, and it takes like an hour for them to charge or whatever. So then I start doing something else, and then I got distracted, and I didn't go out there and finish
then your
it.
brain happened.
Yeah, then my brain happened, so it's sitting out, and I got to go put it away so I can finish doing it tomorrow. It's a thing. It's a thing. But I prefer it because the electric lawnmowers are quieter, so I can actually mow my lawn a little bit later, and people don't mind. That's what kids are for. Yeah, the 6-year-old can probably start mowing the lawn, right? I think so.
Yeah, give her an allowance for it.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
The children's crave for the minds.
Yes, the children crave labor. That's what they need. Absolutely. Mike, do you have to potty Minotti? That's right. Absolutely. So
Here, I'll get the game set up.
Look how good this fucking looks. That's
game set up.
cool.
Game.
Look, it looks good.
Oh, shut the fuck
art
up.
style wise. What the fuck?
Well, because it's the Turbo Sean. It looks good. All right. No, I think
I like how it looks.
I think that Princess
cool.
Peach in the opening cutscene looks a little weird. I think all of the battle scenes and all of the like walking around the world stuff looks fantastic. It looks like my mind's eye sort of thing.
I think it looks awesome.
Why are we black?
I don't know. Your screen went black.
I don't know. Oh,
Yeah,
I hit
that's
fade to
either.
black. That's why.
Yeah, that might do it.
Good at this show. Good at the
Incredible.
show.
So smart.
All right.
So smart.
Okay, so you're getting the game set up. There it is.
Yep,
Somebody
that
said
stream
no
good to go.
visual.
Show my camera. Show non-video participants.
Jet
are you
Backler
macking
said
on
that Final Fantasy 16 will be his first Final Fantasy. I did some dry kashi cereal.
Okay.
I eat raw.
Yeah. Do you see Lucy and Tam's follow up to that?
Yes, the memos. Good stuff.
Yeah.
When are they gonna? What happened if they show you? You're gonna lose your shit. What's going on?
Wait,
They show
I
me.
think they should. You on you two. They have to shoot.
I have a
show
feeling
you
it
two.
wouldn't be the first time Jeff has shown up in court.
no, that's definitely
Remember
true.
that might be there.
Remember that
Definitely
time when
true.
you tank EA's share? That was funny. Stuck.
Yeah, so it's always a good time. I love
That
that.
was funny.
Put you on the map for a little bit. Yeah.
I don't even remember what it was, but I should remember that you did that.
I leaked that Battlefield 2042 was going to get delayed, and all the investors were like, "It's going to get delayed to next year," and it got delayed like a month and a half. And so, like, it didn't even go out of the quarter or whatever. And so, like, it immediately went back up. And I'm like, I never said how long it was going to be delayed. I just said it's going to get a delay here. And you all freak the fuck out because that's what you do because you're investors.
Yeah,
All right.
They're very smart.
Let's bring it back in and get to the game. Actually, should we do the super chats first?
Let's do super chats first.
Okay, let me fix your camera real quick, then, and then we can do that. Nope, that's wrong.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. And we're back. Mike, I would like to hear some super chats.
Okay. Big Jimbo Ryan says, "How dare you say I have no Riz? Observe. Hey guys, want to go play old boomer games and do karate in the garage. I also have Pogs, even the Alf one." That's a lot of Riz, Jeff.
You know what? I think I just got rizzed up by Jim Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Jumpmat says, "Hey guys, now that we know Starfield is 30 FPS on console, are you more convinced that we'll get mid-gen upgrades to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X?" Yeah, I was very much like that will never happen. Starfield, and now, you know, games like Jedi Survivor and
Final Fantasy
Final
16.
16, like, not doing great in performance mode. It's like, oh, maybe.
Yep. It's like that's where I'm at as well.
Shigeru Miyamoto says, "They locked me in a dark room, and now they're making games with characters that aren't toads with hats. Please get me out of here. Chris Pratt, I'm scared." Yeah, maybe they were only able to do this Mario RPG remake because Shiggy was busy working with Illumination. He didn't notice.
That's my headcanon. That's what I choose to believe.
Tally says, "Thoughts about today's FTC trial? Activision threatening to pull Call of Duty from Xbox, and Jim Ryan's internal email feel like the tip of the iceberg." Wow, inappropriate Titanic joke timing there. But I don't know. It's like all this stuff that seems like bombshells in these things. It's like, is it a bombshell?
Right. I don't know what the
actually know.
judge cares about. I have no idea what they care about. Yeah.
So I still need to wait and see what happens here. David Cash JRPG says, best podcast out there, plus amazing Summer Game Fest coverage. Thank you guys for the great content. Honestly, it's always a blast listening to you two. Thank you, David Cast. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, David.
Yeah, next one is from El Grug. So, sorry, it just updated and threw off my entire line of sight. El Grug says, so what's the Nintendo game September? I'm just asking for F-Zero GX. It's almost been 20 years. Well, we're not going to get some surprise big game that they didn't announce this thing for September. They just might not have anything from first party in September. Like you have Pikmin in, is that July or August? Then you're going to have 2D Mario in October. There might be a little bit of like space between those things.
Yeah.
Then KACL says, rarely get to watch this live. Grubb did amazing at Summer Game Fest, and Mike, nice feet. So what are your thoughts on if a new 2D Mario is a big game for Nintendo? Yeah, it absolutely is. I know there's like some people like, that's not a big deal. Look, they treated the new Super Mario Bros. Games like big deal, and they're worse than this. So this is absolutely a big deal. Plus, it's been a while anyways.
Yeah.
Like, even before, the problem with the new Super Mario Bros. Games was really that they churned 4 of them out pretty quick. Like 2 of them specifically came out so close to each other. It's been a long time now.
Do you think that this game, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, is going to sell more than 20 million copies?
20 million.
You know what? Let's make it easier. Let's say that might include if a deluxe version gets released for the next Switch. So
but deluxe, yeah, that's very likely.
Lifetime
Yeah,
for this 20 million.
I think 20 million seems very likely.
I think it's very likely as well.
What's Odyssey at now? Like 40, 38, something like that?
Odyssey, I think, is approaching 30 million.
30 million. Okay, a little bit less than I thought.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so too. 20 million copies sold for a $60 video game is bigger than just about anything else in the entire industry. Nintendo's going to think of this as a very big game. Their 2D Marios historically have always sold way better than the 3D Marios. I don't think that's necessarily going to continue into the future. I think 3D games have replaced 2D games because there's been a new audience coming up that has played 3D games their entire lives, and to them that's just as easy as a 2D game. But 2D still has a huge appeal. 2D Mario has a huge appeal. There's a wider audience than ever for Mario after the movie and the theme park. I think this 2D Mario game is a massive release for Nintendo.
Isaac Spencer says, thanks for all you do. Pikmin is back, baby. Yeah, even though I know if I was going to, for some reason, play a Pikmin game before Pikmin 4 comes out, it should just be Pikmin 3. Part of me is like, I really want to check out what this Pikmin 1 on Switch is like. Have you looked into that at all? Do we know if there's much in the way of gameplay improvements and things like that in this Switch version of Pikmin 1?
I haven't. I tried to look into it a little bit. I did see that it's based on the Wii, like new Game Control Plus or whatever the fuck they called it. And it has HD graphics. I don't know about like if they've ported the Pikmin 3 Deluxe controls exactly to these. I'm really hopeful. It seems like the kind of thing that they could do.
Yeah. Nintendo Derek says, seeing Mario and Spider-Man the same day upsets me as a huge fan of both game series. I can't decide which one I'm going to play first. What is your recommendation? This is a pretty serious problem. Well, for a person named Nintendo Derek, I think maybe you'll be a little bit happier with Mario. I mean, I feel, I don't know. It is kind of funny because I do kind of get like Spider-Man 2 is like the biggest, newest thing, and it's like doing all this crazy stuff. And this is a 2D platformer. And yet I'm still more excited for Mario at this moment.
Yep.
But I'd get Mario first. Uncharted Wolf says, I want to shout out Raincode, which comes out in a week or so. A spiritual successor to Danganronpa, and it looks amazing. It'll get buried, but I'm hyped. We have a lot of Danganronpa fans.
Yeah, I know the community did like a big Danganronpa like playthrough or whatever when it hit Game Pass. And it was funny to see like just that community grow in there. I would play it if it apparently it's very long. When I found that out, I was like, I'm probably not actually going to play it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing for you to do a visual novel, let alone a very long one.
It's like 15 to 20 hours. That's not that long.
It's pretty long.
You spend that long on a book. What's the difference for a book with pictures?
I mean,
you think Jeff reads a lot of books?
Yeah, these days I'm doing audiobooks because I don't have the attention span anymore. So listen,
all right,
can I get Danganronpa as an audiobook? I'll fuck with that.
It's an anime.
Even better than an audiobook. How about a visual novel? Burrito says, Super Mario RPG was the first ever RPG I played circa 98. and it set a really high bar. I played it on a CRT in black and white because it didn't have the color pin.
Yeah.
The remake feels like a life coming full circle. Yeah, man. When I played Mario RPG, so Mario RPG wasn't my first RPG. We would rent a Final Fantasy 3/6 a lot, and I loved it, but it was a little much for me at that time. I was probably like 9. And also, we rented Final Fantasy 6 because RPGs cost a lot more. They were bigger carts in terms of memory.
Yeah,
so
but Super Mario RPG was like
them.
$80, right?
Super Mario RPG was maybe 100.
Maybe,
I remember
yeah.
it was also expensive. It was a bit easier talking my parents into that though, because it was Mario.
Right.
So they were at least
I just rented
comfortable
Super
with
Mario
it.
RPG. That I never really owned it. I just rented it 100 times.
Yeah, then that'll get it done. But yeah, so this was Mario RPG was the first RPG, JRPG or otherwise that I beat, and I've been playing JRPGs ever since then. So it was a very special game for me. So yeah, there is like kind of this emotional, historical tie to it that kind of gets me going.
Mm-hmm.
The Uncharted Wolf says, "Don't forget the Metacritic results are soon, boys." That's right. We're almost done with the second quarter of the year, Jeff.
Yeah, Wolf, you're in chat right now. What was our scores for Final Fantasy 16?
I know that.
Oh, you
Jeff,
do? Yeah, okay, you got it. You got it exactly right.
Metacritic is an 88.
Okay, all right, never
You
mind.
guessed
Let's
it,
move on.
89. I guessed an 88. Let's go. Right on the money.
All right,
How are we so good at this?
We're pretty good at this. God damn it, go
All right.
Go up one. Just go up one.
They'll go up. It already has 100 reviews, so that's at 88. So I don't know.
Maybe,
It's gonna
maybe I
take
can
a
do
lot.
it. I'll do the review.
I was going to say Jeff Rushing to write his review right now.
5 out of
Can I give it
5.
a 6 out of 5?
6 out of 5. Let's fucking go.
Next one here is from, but yeah, anyways, about Uncharted Wolf thing. So I think probably next week we will have like the full results for the quarter and see who won the quarter and then get ready for the next one. Exciting. Okay.
It's only exciting if I'm doing well. Am I doing okay, Wolf? You can go on, Mike.
You got one on. You got a couple on.
I think
the
I got
money,
a
or at least
couple
one on the
earlier,
money.
but
I
who
think
knows?
it's probably pretty close actually.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who's winning. War Rizzle says, "I never played Super Mario RPG. Should I wait for the remaster or play the original on a CRT?" The remaster looks like it's going to be so faithful. I think it's okay to just wait for that and play that.
Yeah, and if you play the original and then you get the new one, you're like, I feel like I just played this. I don't want to play this again. I mean, the original's still great. I would just make sure you get the physical version so you could sell it or do something else with it if you don't actually end up playing it.
Robo Jim says, "When might we see Respawn's Star Wars shooter?" You've talked about this before, Jeff. What's going on?
Yeah, it's a good question. I haven't really asked because it feels like it's just far off, so it doesn't feel like it's in the cards. So I don't know, but I'll look into it. It's probably a ways off though.
Then KACL's back says, "You had Grubb grumblings of maybe something in July Nintendo related. You think there's anything there, like a Pokemon Presents?"
Yeah, I still don't know. It's the way it was phrased to me was direct in July, but the way it was also phrased made it sound like it wasn't a general direct. We just got that general direct. So, do they do a small partner showcase? Do they have a Pikmin for like 10, 15-minute thing? I guess all that's possible. I really don't know. The one thing I say that I don't think it would be, but this is me just guessing, is the hardware reveal. I don't think I'm hearing about that. I plan to check in again here pretty soon now that we're past the direct. I was going to check in next week about it. I'll see what I can find out. But for now, I'll say something probably will happen in July. But clearly, the direct was the thing that just happened.
Oh, Grug says, "What's y'all top 3 meats?" I don't know if it means specific cuts or just animals. If it's animals, it's very easy. Just, chicken, pork, beef, right?
Yep.
Like,
Same.
I'm not much of a lamb guy.
No, I don't like lamb.
If I want to get specific, give me chicken thighs, pork shoulder. I kind of like a good pork.
Give me carnitas.
Tenderloin.
Give me chorizo.
Beef tenderloin's very good. Chorizo's nice.
Filet mignon, of course.
Yeah, filet. Yeah, big beef tenderloin. I want to make a freaking what's it called when you get the beef tenderloin? You wrap it in the pastry dough. A beef Wellington.
Yeah, beef Wellington. Gas station beef
prosciutto.
Wellington. That's what I want. Yep.
I used to like corned beef a lot, and now I think I like God, what's the other kind of thing that's just like the other deli meat that's exactly like corned beef? I think I like that a bit more. Yeah, now I'm blanking on it for some reason.
Yeah, God damn it. I love it too, but why can't I think of it?
It's more Italian and less Irish. Pastrami, yes. Pastrami, I think it's just better.
I
than
love
corned beef
pastrami.
now.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Yeah, pastrami's with bacon. Fantastic. Pork belly. If you cook pork belly really well. That's incredible.
Oh, yeah,
That's
all
lots
that
of
fat.
good, lots of good meats out there.
Yep.
All right, Jeff, that's it for Super Chats for now. Guys, if you want to send in more Super Chats, we will read those before the end of the show. Thank you all so much. There's been so much support lately, everybody. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you for watching and contributing.
Yep, it's really nice. It makes it a lot easier to kind of keep doing this stuff. It makes it easier to afford taking Mike to Margaritaville as well.
Maybe Monday?
I would love that. Let's. In fact, I got to give Steph an answer about what we're doing on Monday. So if we figure that out tonight, that'd be great.
We'll do it.
Okay, let's see here. We are going to fade to this scene so that we can do closest to the messy pen, volume 11. I get to stop talking now and hand it over to our friend Turbo Sean.
So have you guys just never had a really good Euro, or do you just not prefer it?
I've had lamb meat before, and I'm always like, this is okay. It'd be better if it was beef.
I've had some really good lamb Euros with like that. What is it? Minty sauce? What is the kind of the
It's
Tzatziki.
So
I don't like tzatziki,
and
because it's very cucumbery.
Right. I like it when it's like all working together very well, and I enjoy it. But when I'm traveling and I'm like in Eastern Europe and there's like a lot of like shawarma stands, I find it my hit rate with just saying chicken instead of lamb is much better. It's much better. So that's just where I'm coming from and what I'm thinking about mostly. Lamb is fine. It's just not my top three.
Back in my
don't order it at a restaurant.
At school, we had a Euro shop like right down the street, so I had them all the time.
Yeah, if you had a legit Euro shop, that's different.
It's good. Anyways, enough of the meat talk. We talk about our meat way too much around here. It's time for everyone's favorite game show within a podcast, closest to the messy pin. We have volume 11 here, a Bop original, powered by Metacritic, presented by me, Turbo Sean. It's been a couple weeks since we've done one of these, so just to inform people who may be new to the show, these are the rules. Every round, you'll be given a certified, older than 10 years, retro game. The goal is to predict the game's Metacritic score. We will use a closest to the pin scoring system. So the score difference between your guess and the correct answer will be tallied at the end of each round. At the end of the game, the lowest total score wins. Golf rules, baby. And if you guess the exact number, instead of a 0, you deduct 5 points from your total score. So some risk reward involved there. Now, before we get into the game, our resident statistician, Benji Bob, has presented to us some fun facts after 10 episodes.
Oh, let's see this.
So, as of right now, the official record stands with Mike having 4 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. Jeff, therefore, conversely, has 5, 4, and 1.
That doesn't sound right.
I am on the board as 1-0 with the unofficial one that me and Mike did.
Yeah, we should only count people who've played at least 4 or 5 games, I think.
Maybe I'll be considered an actual contestant one of these days. The average score per game, meaning at the end of the game, Mike actually doing slightly better at 17. Jeff at 18.
That's the real stat.
No, I mean, listen, because that's easy. That's average. What's the mean? Because the average could be so thrown off by one bad game. There was that one where I had like 1,000 points or whatever.
Something the audio listeners won't see here at the bottom, he notes that he tossed out scores from the bowling episode as that really would have thrown things off.
That's fair. That was, no idea that one.
And keeping that in mind, the average margin from guess to actual score, Mike Singh at 3.76, Jeff at 4.58. So once again, Mike does slightly better on the average guess.
Yeah,
but this plays into it. Total exact guesses. Mike has 3. Jeff has had 8.
That's the problem.
Correct guesses.
Okay.
That's the problem.
So when I'm right, I'm really right, and when I'm wrong, I'm really wrong. Okay, I can live with that.
40 total points deducted from your overall scores there.
Jeez.
Largest margin of victory was in episode 7 where Mike won 40-66.
That sounds like what happened right there.
Yeah, the Star Wars episode, which also threw things off a little. Biggest whiffs on a score, Mike 30 and Jeff 24. Again, I think that might have been for the Star Wars episode.
We both did this twice, apparently. So we both have been off by... I've been off by 24 twice. He's been off by 30 twice. Okay.
I believe that's what that means, yeah.
Mike, why are you frozen? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, Mike had a little hiccup. Yeah, he's back.
Probably my camera, sorry. I was just actually smiling in place for a while.
That's you know what? I like that better. Let's go back to that.
Most commonly guessed score was 89. You guys guessed this 7 times, which I'm a little surprised it's been only 7 times. You guys do hover around there a lot.
I mean, It's a good score. As a reviewer, I'll say 89 is a very strong score.
It is a very good
I gave BioShock Infinite an 89.
Do you regret that one?
Yes.
Oh, we would have regretted it so much more if it was a 90, though.
Oh yeah, no, I wanted to go the other way. Yes, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Number of times Jeff has brought up the guess the same score as your opponent rule. 7.
How many times have they brought it up? God damn it.
Jeff has actually used the guess the game same score rule once.
This is irrelevant. This has nothing. Who cares? It needs to be there.
It's a fun fact. It's just a fun fact about your stupid rule. Number of times I have blamed Bob for something I did wrong twice. And number of times I tallied the scores wrong twice. But he knows this has never affected who won. So these must have been minor errors by clicked one too many times. And then times Jeff didn't full screen the game. So it was cropped weird in the little window 4.5 times.
Incredible.
We're good tonight. We're good tonight.
You're very good, Jeff.
Hey, whatever.
All right. Well, moving on to the game itself. Jeff won last time, so Mike will be picking first. You need to tell me the score you think. Forza Motorsport for the original Xbox, May 3rd, 2005.
Oh, man.
73 critic reviews has on Metacritic.com.
Series, I feel like didn't get. I mean, it got a lot higher scores later. I remember the 360 ones popping up, but the original.
I just want to check real quick. Mike, you are going first on this one.
Yeah, he said that.
I know I missed it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're like, well, also me talking about it and about to give. I
just wanted to make sure. I want to make sure I could turn my brain off and go think about something else while you're doing this.
All right, you're allowed, Jeff. I'm gonna guess an 86.
86. Let me make sure not to misclick.
Okay, that's a good guess. That feels strong, but I think I'm gonna go with an 84 instead.
Okay.
Totally thought you were gonna say 89.
Now I'm afraid to say 89.
All right, just going a little bit lower there. Forza Motorsport, the original, has a 92.
Wow. Okay.
So.
I thought we were all about Project Gotham Racing on the original Xbox. I thought we were still getting our kudos or whatever.
I mean, Forza Motorsport was like pretty good. I was thinking Forza Horizon. All right. That's where I made
Forza Horizon on the original Xbox.
Yeah. Listen, I'm barely paying attention.
Clearly, this will hopefully come to my benefit here.
All right, game number 2, where Jeff will be picking first. Fable 3. Xbox 360.
Jeff, you're going first.
Who's going first this time?
Yeah, it's you.
Nobody. Release date October 26, 2010, based on 88 critic reviews.
Okay. I am going to say this is tough because I know it's a bad game, but does it get like that franchise rub of like, I think I like this because that's a franchise I like? I'm going to say 79.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a terrible game that probably got a better review average than it deserved for who knows why reason. 79 still might be generous, though. I want to say more like a 75.
75. All right.
I hate this game. There's not too many games I let like bother me. For some reason, this game bothered me. I hated it so much.
All right. Well, Fable 3 is currently sitting at 80.
That's such bullshit. That's insane.
Just say what you're thinking. Just say what Microsoft said about the reviewers, the fanboy reviewers.
The fanboy reviewers. I want to know the context for that still, by the way.
It's GameSpot's fanboy reviewers. Bailey
wants to know, why do you guys dislike Fable 3? They oversimplified it incredibly. Basically just like mash a button the entire time. The game is not very funny. The whole system was blah. They do the whole push your pause button is like a place you can go inside, but we weren't really ready for that, so it took forever. It was really slow. Yeah, really bad post game. I don't like Fable 3 at all. We should be embarrassed as an industry that it got an 80 Metacritic.
Okay.
Fable 2 pretty good.
Game number 3, we're going back to Mikey. I need you to tell me what you think. New Super Mario Brothers U has, obviously, for the Wii U. Release date November 18th, 2012. 70 critic reviews.
Yeah, this is tough. People liked this game. I remember most of the ire went towards New Super Mario Brothers 2. But I think people liked.
2's an actual bad game.
Oh, bad game's rough,
it's
but
fine.
It is not fun to play.
Let's say, oh, come on. It's fun to play, Jeff. It's like the same.
It's fun to move around. The game itself is pretty bad.
Yes, the platformer is fun to platform. Weird that people think it's okay.
I'm going to say 90.
And everything else is bad.
90. Okay.
I'm going to say 89.
God damn it.
Okay. Mike going with 90. Jeff going with the
New
golden
Super Mario Bros.
number.
2 is a good game. Get out of here.
New Super Mario Bros. U, though, has an 84.
Really?
That sounds right.
Because like
Sounds right.
it's the
People
fourth
did
one
turn
of these.
against it.
People were tired of it.
It's the third one. I think New Super Mario Bros. 2 actually came out afterwards.
Really?
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah. I thought there was a bit more of a glow up. People, I remember there was some people upset that it was a launch game instead of like, I don't know, something more.
Well, also, friendly
Okay.
reminder, 84. Very strong score.
Yeah, no,
But
sure.
also, it 100% got docked for just people hating on the Wii U. They're like, oh, I had to use this stupid tablet and touch things?
Oh,
Weird.
it was after 2, says Nick? I'm going to check this out now.
that
I thought
sounds
2
right to
came
me.
out
I
afterwards.
thought this was like the...
They were
Wait.
like months apart.
They were
in
very
one
close.
way or
Yeah, that's
another.
true, for
This
sure.
was the end of the year, so I would assume this was second.
I'm going to find out now.
All right,
You can
well, you know
continue.
what? Jeff is picking first, so I can move on to the next game here. Number 4, we're doing the original Pikmin
Oh.
released for the GameCube. December 2nd, 2001? Was it that? I didn't realize it was that early.
Oh,
Yeah,
New
it
U
was-
was after New 2. If I'd known that, I would have maybe gone lower. My bad.
39 critic reviews for Pikmin 1. Jeff, what do you think this is currently saying, Metacritic?
Again, this is a tough one because there's so many factors. I think I like this game. I think a lot of people like maybe convinced themselves they liked it more than they actually did because of Miyamoto and it's being like a Miyamoto game. I'm gonna go with 83.
Dang it,
Okay.
that's like right where I want to be. Because I do know, I also think people, Jeff's seems pretty sound. Here was an early GameCube game. Some people were really thrown off by some of the aspects. I know people didn't like the day-night cycle a lot at that point. But yeah, still Nintendo. It's still a good game. I'm going to say 82.
82 for Mikey. Hanging out right around the same spot. Got it. All right. Well, the original Pikmin received a 89.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm doing rough.
That's that actually sounds right now.
That's high.
It sounds right based on the response at the time of like it is
so.
high. It is high for that game. That game.
It was unique for
yes,
the time.
it
I
needed
think that
it
people
needed some more time in the
appreciated
oven though. The idea wasn't quite there yet.
it. Okay. Well, the final game for the evening. We're going back
Final
to Mikey
game.
now. Game
Shit.
number 5. We're sitting here. 24 points on board for Mike. 20 for Jeff. So it's relatively close. Mike, I need you to tell me what you think. The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind has original Xbox, June 6, 2002, 34 critic reviews.
This has been a tough game. It's very interesting because these are all games that like did probably review well, but people really liked Morrowind. It was the first time we had one of these on Xbox, really. I feel like it had to be probably pretty high, actually. I'm going to say, but not that high. I'm going to say 88.
88 for Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with an 85.
Okay, a little bit lower there.
Yeah, a little bit
Still
lower,
solid.
but still solid.
Okay.
I gotta pretty much
locking
get it
things
right
down
now.
a little bit. Yeah. We'll
He's being
see.
very strategic there at that 85. I get it.
The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
Oh no.
87.
Oh, you were so close.
Mike was
Damn
1
it.
point
Oh
off.
man, you were so
Damn
close.
it. Damn.
Final
it.
scores here at the end. Mike with 25, Jeff with 22. Jeff is your winner.
The Todd
for the
Howard
evening.
gift.
Did you guys pick up on a theme for this one since we didn't point it out to you?
Yeah, just earlier games from other games announced during Summer Game Fest week and
Yep.
month, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything was there.
I
yeah.
got it. Very fun. That was a very good one.
Yeah, that
Even
was
though I
good.
lost. Damn it.
Good
That's okay.
GGs.
We got other games that I
GGs.
can win tonight.
Yep, that's right.
Can you,
Wow.
though?
Can you?
Can I?
Okay. We're gonna get set up for our console draft. So with that in mind, we're going to take another quick break. It won't be long. We'll be right back after this. All right, everybody. Let's see here. I am going to bring up a Google Sheet.
Yeah, how's it going?
Okay, quick question before you guys get into it so you don't argue about it. Can you do the handhelds released at the time in case you want to that aren't Game Boy?
Yes.
I mean, you can, but that's just going to muddy things up.
I
I
don't
don't think any of us
we
are picking
absolutely
Neo
can.
Geo Pocket
You
color
probably
games.
won't, but in case you want to chuck something on there from like, I don't know, Neo Geo
Yeah,
Pocket. I
what's
just thought it would
the-
be good to establish this
Like
ahead of time.
afterburner for the Game Gear or something
Yeah,
like
if
that.
Mike wants to put a Game Gear
I don't think
on
any of us
there
are
really
picking any
badly.
Game Gear games.
I'm going to
But
pick
just
all
to
Atari links. Eat
establish-
shit.
To establish, it's on the table if you wanted to.
It is.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let's see here.
I'll just keep this up until you transition over.
Thank you.
This is such a funny GIF. I've never seen this before.
I haven't either. I like it a lot.
It just works.
It just works.
Irresponsibly big.
You know, you heard? Do you saw him on Kind of Funny?
No, I haven't watched that yet, actually.
I started watching it. I didn't finish
I
it.
watched a clip where he says that there's no fishing in Starfield.
I did
and
see
I'm
that.
like,
Yes. No fishing
Fuck
pole.
that.
You can like grab fish though, I think.
Yeah,
That's
so
not
Zelda
fishing. That's not fishing.
I mean,
I don't care.
Well,
Listen,
I know.
man, how do you think people caught fish before they invented the fishing
yeah,
pole?
they just fucking grab
They
them with
did
their
it.
bare hands. You go catfishing in America. You just do it. You just stick your hand in a hole and grab. You pull it out when
because
it
they're
bites
fucking
you.
stupid. Because they're
Listen, I never said we
rednecks
aren't fucking
out there.
stupid.
Yeah, there's a difference here.
Hey, how does it feel to know that the last Sonic game had a fishing mini game and the Bethesda game doesn't?
Destiny
Yeah,
has a
Gears
fishing
has one?
minigame.
Yeah, remember you fish with Big the Cat.
I still haven't played it.
Oh yeah. Big
I
the
was
Cat's
waiting
there. You
for
fish
the,
with him.
I've been waiting
What,
for the draw distance mod. to
Game of the
come
Year
out for
edition?
PC. Yeah. No, people
No,
actually
real
did fix
Sonic's
up the draw distance, Mike. If you ever wanted to go back to it on PC, like it looks really nice now.
You say people did? Do you mean like officially
modders.
Sega mods?
Modders.
Interesting. Okay.
But it does like just fix things.
yeah,
It's
that
pretty
actually
cool.
sounds like a good, better way to play that game.
Who won the
they
last one?
rush the
Does
back
anyone
to it?
remember?
I did.
That doesn't sound right.
Oh,
Okay.
I did.
All
I
right.
think
So that
he
means I
did.
go
Yeah, I
first.
think he won the final.
You
one.
get to go
Did you?
first.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
don't
bring it back
argue
in.
with the advantage.
Okay, make a big pause.
All right, we're back, and we are going to do another console draft. For people who haven't heard one of these before, what we do is we take turns selecting video games.
Jeff, I'm too high.
I don't
Help
really
me.
give, I don't really give a shit. I'll fix you while I'm explaining it. We take turns picking video games until we each have 12 video games. And then we compare our lists and have people vote on which list they prefer. Basically, this is our console lineup of video games. Who has the best list? You vote. One of us wins, and then one of us usually gets pretty upset because they lose, and that person's name is Mike Minotti. This time we are doing Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, or any of the other handhelds that are out around that time.
Right. And no suggestions in chat, everybody.
Yeah,
Please.
you listen. The mods will fucking zap you if you put a suggestion
I
in
will
chat.
shoot you in the back. I will take you to the alleyway and I will shoot you.
He'll just destroy you, and you don't want it. You don't want it. So let's just keep it cool. You could definitely comment on our picks, though. I suggest Boomer choice. That's always our favorite. So feel free to do that. These are going to be a lot of Boomer choices. Mike,
Game Boy.
Mike, you won last time. That means
Yes.
I go first this time,
And it's
I'm
Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and like other systems that came out around then. If you're feeling really spicy and need to have a Game Gear or Neo Geo Pocket Color or Atari Lynx game in there, you go right ahead. Wonder Swan. Let's get some Wonder Swan color games in there.
all right. So I'm just gonna think. I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna think for a second because last time I didn't think and I forgot about the obvious game.
did.
But I'm also trying to think about our audience, and I think my best bet to win as many people over as possible is to say Pokemon Gold/Silver.
Okay. And look, I'm not going to come in and say Crystal. The Crystal would have been my first pick. We should just say like one game per these gens, right?
Yeah, I was going to
Let's,
say Gold, Silver, Crystal. Like that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Is
think
that
that's
fine.
okay?
Should I just put Crystal? Is that
You
going to
can
be?
just put Crystal. I think that kind of gets the point across.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get across. Okay, Pokemon
Let's put Pokemon
Crystal
Crystal.
for the Grubb Boy. Now it's over to the Minotti Lynx.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to get Pokemon Emerald. Then I'm not gonna. Well, wait a second. Yeah. Yeah. I'll get Pokemon Emerald. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Gold, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. That's DS. That's not this draft.
Right. Exactly. Emerald. Okay, that's fair.
There you go.
Okay, that seems like we got that out of the way. Fuck. So Game Boy Advance and Game Boy. I'm trying to think about like what is going to have the big like because I think here's the thing with Game Boy Advance.
Yes.
There are so many great games, but they're very like I think they're very segmented. And there's like the Pokemon's obviously are popular with everybody, but is there anything that just really hits with everybody? Because I know which ones. You know what? I'm just gonna go The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap.
Okay. Man, I hate to be like boring counter pick boy, but my number 2 was going to just be Link's Awakening DX.
Okay, that's very good.
There you
go.
You keep promising you're gonna finish Minish Cap.
Yeah, I got to get my save off my other computer. I should have just played it on the Switch because I'm a dumb bitch.
Yeah, why didn't you? I remember at the time you did do.
Because I said it'd be easier for me, and now look at me now. Look at me now. Does it look like it's easier for me?
Wow,
No.
yeah,
God, I'm a dumb
Jeff.
bastard. All right, let's see here. I'll plug in the other computer. I'll get the save back and I'll save it. Okay. What do I want to do? God, there's so many games that I love. I think I might have to mostly just go with my heart. I think I'm gonna go with Castlevania Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah, that's very smart. That's very smart, Jeff.
It's tough to like pick just one of these.
And in a slightly similar vein, I think I'm going to go with. This is hard because there's 2 of these, and there's one I think I like a little bit more, but I think most people like Zero Mission more. I think I'll go with Metroid Zero Mission.
Okay. And I totally think that's where I would have gone as well. Okay. God, this is a really tough one. There are so many games to choose from.
It is. There's a lot of good games. It's not like I'm not ranking.
I turned you down in my ear. What were you saying?
I'm not trying to. Yeah, I know. I'm not having a problem thinking of games. Just having a problem thinking of what game I'm picking.
Exactly. Yes, I'm thinking of so many. Like what is the one that's gonna have the biggest effect? I really don't know. I think there's ones that our community brings up all the time, but is that just like the squeaky wheel, or is that one, or does it come up all the time because there's a huge contingency of our voters that are actually going to care about it? I don't know. For this one, this feels too early, but I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to say Golden Sun.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Golden Sun.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like people in our community talk about it constantly.
I think that's a good pick.
I hope that's going to actually move the needle. I have no idea, really, though.
I think it's a good pick, and I'm going to go again slightly similar. I'm going to take Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga
that's a really good one.
now. Right now. Because there aren't a lot of good Mario games actually,
yes.
Like just straight up Mario games. But this is kind of scratching that itch and gets the RPG itch, so I like that.
Okay. All right, I'm thinking.
We're gonna do 12 games, everybody. So we have 4 each right now. So we're only a third of the way through.
Yep, we're moving through it. And there's so many that like I would move it for me, and I'm just not sure if it's gonna move it for anyone else. I'll save that, I think. I don't know. I'm thinking. I guess
it's hard because there's ones I know that like I really love, and
exactly.
It's gonna move the needle for people. I don't know.
It's hard. Yeah, well, okay. I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Okay. I think this is your weakest pick so far. I think. I know.
I know a lot of people like Final Fantasy Tactics think look down on Advance, but Advance is very popular and well liked.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm too close to it because like I hear you and Jan, even Dan, talk about Tactics Advance, and I'm like, I thought, oh, okay, but maybe I'm a Final Fantasy snob.
Tactics Advance owns and is beloved.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a snob.
So yes, but yes, there's a lot of people out there like, no, Tactics is the real thing, and I get that too.
Yeah, Chad actually seems to really like this pick, so okay.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, I'm gonna go Tetris DX.
Tetris DX? Okay.
Tetris DX.
Okay.
I'll get the Tetris going here.
Yes. Oh, that was going to probably have to happen eventually.
Like, why not? Tetris always helps.
Yeah, it's like, man, you could always just go in.
So all those Game Gear games, Jeff.
Hey, listen, any time now, you watch out.
Shinobi GG.
Shinobi,
let's go.
yes, Shinobi GG, yeah. Okay. Well, do I want to do one of those? That's so hard. How do you even pick one of those?
Interesting.
I think I'm going to go with. Yeah, this feels like not a very good pick. So let me just let me think for a second.
That's a not very good pick.
Well, it's just like I don't know if people care about it or just me. That's where I'm at with a lot of my choices right now.
Okay.
But also I'm at a point where we might be just digging deeper and deeper each time. So I might have to start just getting into those and being fine with it. I'm just gonna do it. WarioWare Mega Micro Games.
Oh yeah. That's a very popular game. I think that makes a lot of sense. Man, there's a lot of makes me think some other things. But I think I am actually now going to take Donkey Kong 94.
That's one.
Just because I really want that more. I don't want you to have it.
Yeah, it's definitely. It was like one of those ones I'm like planning on getting, but I was like, when's the right time for it? Okay. We just say no. Mother 3?
No.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too cute.
Then I'm gonna go with Advance Wars.
I'm gonna say fuck you, Advance Wars, and go with Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones. Where are your waifus now?
They are in Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. You have all the waifus. That's my big issue.
Lynn. Not best waifu.
Okay. I think I'm going to probably. God. Am I already covered there? You did that. How many more do we have left? 1, 2.
I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5 left.
Okay.
It's interesting that everyone's like, there's so much GBA. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of good GBA
yeah,
games.
There's so much good GBA games. And like, he's got Link's Awakening and
I've got quite a few Game Boy games
and
in
Donkey
mine.
Kong 94, yeah. And like those are the ones I would have picked. Maybe I'll get another Game Boy on there, but like other stuff I feel like I have to counter pick as well, and yeah, it's tough. Okay. I am thinking, I don't know if I want to do that. I know people like those games. Should I just start going, you know what? I'm going to go with the games that I know are good. And I feel like they're deep cuts. But I'm hoping they win over like a couple percentage points here and there. I'm going to go with Astro Boy Omega Factor.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I think I need to. I don't want to say that. I'm not going to say that.
What? Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
I mean, that game is so good. But people don't know it. But it's just so good.
You're right though, because like you're getting some people saying, what, and then you're getting some people really excited. So
yeah, but that's where we're at. Like, I mean, yeah,
it's going to speak really strongly to certain people. I'm going to take the Pokemon trading card game.
Oh, that's a good one.
Some people are calling it your Einhander moment.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I get that. I mean,
but see, I thought I didn't get that rub with Einhander like I thought I would. No one cared. Maybe Astro Boy has bigger pool than that for some reason.
I don't know. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, people are acting that way to Astro Boy. Now it's like these other ones. Like, does this play? I have no idea. I guess to counter that, I'll go with Sonic Advance.
Okay. What do I want to do? I'll do Kirby's Dream Land. Wait. Yeah, just Kirby's Dream Land.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see here.
Yeah.
I'll do Metroid Fusion.
Yeah. I figured you were gonna do that eventually. You figured I wouldn't have to take both.
Yeah, that's why I'm saving them.
Dang it, do people care? This is hard for me because I know, again, it's like, is this just because I'm so in tune with the series? I know that this is the good one, and everyone else is gonna be like, we don't really care about that. Maybe I can't even just. Can I wait? Like, what am I waiting for? I feel like we're definitely gonna be pointed towards some like big things that we are missing here.
definitely.
It's gonna be interesting.
Oh, okay, I got one I want to do now. All right.
Oh, now you've got one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again, I'm still in the very heavy in the. Is this just for me?
Okay, I want. Which one do people like more? I want Mario Golf for the Game Boy Advance.
Okay, that's literally the one I was just gonna pick.
That's what as you said. I almost kind of felt the energy.
Yep, you did,
and
that's
plucked it out.
Exactly what I was gonna pick. Okay. Because I don't think
there's an obvious counter pick, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know if that one even does. I don't think that even helps me. I really don't think Mario Tennis helps at this point, because I think Mario Golf people are still gonna. I think more people pick Mario Golf, and Mario Tennis doesn't actually peel off that many people. Okay. Well, shit. I'm gonna go with Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel.
Oh, this game. I have this game.
Yes.
There it is. Mega Man 03. The best Mega Man 0.
Okay.
Last one, I think, Jeff.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, let me think here. I'm going to go with. Let's see where does that. God, I don't know. Let me look what you have.
You want to read it for? Well, we're almost at the end now. I don't know if you want to read it out loud.
Yeah,
read it out loud as you think out loud.
Yes, so the Grubb Boy has Pokemon Crystal, The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, Castlevania: Aria of Sorrow, Golden Sun, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, WarioWare Mega Micro Games, Advance Wars, Astro Boy Omega Factor, Sonic Advance, Metroid Fusion, Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel. The Minotti Lynx has Pokemon Emerald, Link's Awakening DX, Metroid Zero Mission, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Tetris DX, Donkey Kong 94, Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, Pokemon Trading Card Game, Kirby's Dream Land, Mario Golf Advance, and Mega Man 03. And now we each are going to pick one more. And I'm just not sure what is going to make the biggest impact. Again, I said I'd look at yours because I felt like there was stuff I wanted to counterpick, but now I'm not sure if that's going to actually do much. Yeah, I already have that. That's fine. Do you have something strong in mind for your last one, or are you still kind of just thinking?
I have ideas. I don't have anything strong. I don't think I'm just not one. I'm like, I hope he doesn't take that.
Yeah, right.
Nothing like that.
Not
really.
You know what? This one just did well, and that's kind of a counter pick. I'm gonna go with a Mega Man Battle Network.
Okay.
So you.
I just realized what the funniest one I could pick would be.
Sure.
I could maybe do it for the lols. Maybe lols will help. Would be Boktai.
Sure, Boktai's a fun one. I think
That'd be
Boktai's
fun. But I could just speak. I'm not sure yet. I can speak freely now because I could also be boring and just counter pick some of your stuff. Like I could just do like Circle of the Moon or Harmony of Dissonance.
Yep.
I could do WarioWare Twist It.
Yep. Absolutely.
WarioWare Twist It, I think, is the safest choice. If I wanted to be really safe. Boktai is the maybe more fun choice. It's close right now. I don't want to throw it away. I think people are so weird about Kojima. I think people would pop for Boktai. I'm gonna go with Boktai.
I like this choice.
Let's go with it.
Because I think your list is pretty strong. I think having a meme pick is fun. Okay, so once again, the Minotti Links has Pokemon Emerald. And while I'm doing this, Sean, if you want to get a poll going.
Oh, we never did do Mario Land 2. I definitely should have picked Mario Land 2. Thank you, chat.
Damn it.
Mario
Yeah.
Land 2 would have been a good choice.
Mario Land 2 would be very good. God damn it. Pokemon
Well,
Emerald
we didn't do
Links.
any of the Wario Land games. Oh, sorry, Jeff.
I know. I was thinking about doing Wario Land, and then I was like, I already have WarioWare. Am I going to like lose the effectiveness of Wario if I keep having stuff with Wario in it? I don't know.
That would have been good.
I probably just overthought it. The Minotti Links, Pokemon Emerald, Link's Awakening DX, Metroid Zero Mission, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Tetris DX, Donkey Kong 94, Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, Pokemon Trading Card Game, Kirby's Dream Land, Mario Golf Advance, Mega Man 03, and Boktai. The Grubb Boy has Pokemon Crystal, The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, Golden Sun, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, WarioWare Mega Micro Games, Advance Wars, Astro Boy, A Mega Factor, Sonic Advance, Metroid Fusion, Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel, and Mega Man Battle Network. All right. So now you guys can all vote. If you are a podcast producer in the Discord, there will be a place for you to vote. That will be the binding one. We'll put this up in chat on Twitter and all that here in a second. But for now, go ahead and feel free to log your vote if you're a podcast producer. How are you feeling, Mike?
I think this one could actually go either way.
Yeah, it's really
sure.
hard for me to predict this one.
People are pointing out something like, yeah, Wario Land 4 might have been a good one to do there.
I thought about it.
But I don't know, for some reason, it's like, I don't know. WarioWare's already there. I know they're very different.
Did Rhythm Heaven come out? I don't think Rhythm Heaven would have.
I thought that was a DS. I mean, there's some things that I think came out of Japan on Game Boy Advance.
Well, that's on Rhythm Heaven was definitely on Game Boy
DS.
Advance in Japan. I just don't know if it was here.
Like the Phoenix Wright games were originally Game Boy Advance, but we didn't get them until they got ported to a thing. Like some people said, Fire Red or Leaf Green for Pokemon. I think we're both happy having our one Pokemon game. Kuru would have been a bold choice, maybe a good one.
Yeah, but wasn't that in Japan only as well?
I guess that's only Japan. Well, now it's on NSO, so now it counts. I think.
Okay, fair enough. All right. I guess that's how it works.
I don't think I was going to be that bold about that. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 could have been cute.
Yeah, so yes, I was going to do Ninja 5.0. I thought Astro Boy might be a little bit more familiar to people.
I don't even know what Ninja 5.0 is, so
it's one of the best Game Boy Advance games.
All right then.
Yep. This is the problem. This is the problem with you guys. I don't know what that means, Mike. Okay. So everybody, you can vote again. We'll get the results here in a second. I suppose in the meantime, Mike, should we just get into what we've been playing and then we'll come back and wrap around to this?
Yeah, we can do that, Jeff, for sure.
Okay. I almost did Drill Dozer as well, Beef Hammer. I definitely considered it. It was between Ninja 5.0, Astro Boy, and Drill Dozer. And maybe Drill Dozer would have been more fun, but I don't know.
I almost thought about. I think I had too many Pokemon. I had two Pokemon games. I almost thought about doing the Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. Is that the Game Boy Color one? I like that a lot, but as Pokemon heavy. I also thought about
proud of that TCG pick, Mike. I don't want to hear anything to the contrary.
The Pokemon Trading Card Game pick was very good. I agree with that. Definitely.
I was pretty happy with it. Yes. Thank you. Some people try to go Kirby's Dream Land instead of like one of the later ones, and I was like, maybe I should do one of the later ones, but I don't know. Yeah, I just went for the
Kirby's Dream Land 2. That's on Game Boy as well.
It is on top, and it's like it's good. There is something about one that I do actually
like. Yeah, but it's just like you don't have the power sucking stuff. So it's
but like it's also like it's designed not around that. It is still fun. But you're right.
Benji, I don't know which one's the good Battle Network. I just try to pick one that
one is still good. I mean, 3 would be. If you were
I was about to do 3, but I was like, I don't know.
1 is absolutely awful. It's so bad.
Okay, so
it's awful.
That's actually 3 is what I selected there. Actually. Okay. Let's see here.
And but yeah, I don't know. I haven't played too much, Jeff. Really, I still haven't started Final Fantasy 16, even though it actually came out today.
So that's what I have been playing. That's I'm in there. Have you even played the demo or anything?
No, I didn't even play the demo. I played that feature. I played the preview I did at New York forever ago, which was kind of further into the game than the opening. So I'm way behind. I think I mentioned this as soon as I came back for Summer Game Fest. There was a big work project happening,
right?
So that's kind of wrapped up now. And then, like, it was a friend's birthday yesterday, so I had people over my house. Like, I was hosting for that, so that took up all my time yesterday. Then today I was tired, so I just took a nap after work and woke up to do this. So I haven't had a chance to play 16 really at all. But it seems like I'm almost a little surprised how well maybe it's working. The whole we're gonna make it an action game, and now more people are gonna play this who normally wouldn't. Like it seems like I am actually hearing a lot of people saying don't like Final Fantasy, but I'm going to play this one.
Yeah, and I think it's both the action gameplay and sort of the we're gonna take this all really seriously, and not in a way that's annoying. It's definitely shameless about like taking inspiration from Game of Thrones. Clive is just exactly Jon Snow, and Clive's dad is exactly Ned Stark. There's like zero difference, and so much like
is it Sean Bean? That'd be great.
Yeah, the basic. He sounds like Sean Bean. Like they really don't even try to hide it, and I'm like, I think that's fine. Like they're using shorthand, and it's like this is not new to Final Fantasy. Like taking inspiration from popular things. They've done that a lot. This might be the most explicit, but it doesn't hurt the game at all. And what it does do is, like, I think it gives them the confidence to lean into thinking about the reality of Final Fantasy in some really interesting ways. Now, I'm sure this is stuff that they've done in storytelling with, like, Final Fantasy XIV or whatever, but for me, this is new. Like,
sure,
actually thinking about what it would mean to a person to be able to summon these giant monsters, and what that means politically, and what it means for your relationships to other people, and what happens if you lose that power, and how do you feel about that, and how do you fit in the world after that. Like, all that stuff is actually at least being touched on. I'm still pretty early. I'm like 6, 7, maybe 8 hours in. And it's like, I don't know how they're going to, like, if it's going to pay off, but they are at least dealing with it, and I find that to be pretty fascinating. It gives me a connection to these characters in a way that I wasn't expecting necessarily. And then it is just fun to play. The combat really opens up as you get more powers unlocked. The first set of powers that you have because you're kissed by the Phoenix or whatever, like your fire powers, they're cool. And they're still useful, like once you start mixing it up with other stuff. But when you are able to mix it up with other stuff, that's when it really comes to life. And you could see, like, oh, this combat system is very good, very robust, and it's going to keep getting bigger and more complex in a lot of interesting ways, which was like the big question I had. It's like, I'm just kind of hitting square a lot. And then occasionally when my meter fills up, I'll do these super moves. And then when I get a stagger, I'm just doing all that at once. And it's like, okay, is that all this is? It's like, no, there's way more going on. And that's a relief. I think the RPG systems themselves, in terms of like building out the character, it's pretty slim. And I think that's, I think that's maybe a little bit to the detriment of the game. I think the idea of like building out my own Clive would have been interesting, but it feels like the kind of thing where like they wanted to focus on the combat, they wanted to focus on the storytelling and the characters and the voice acting, and all that stuff is very good. I imagine as they kind of build on it from here, they will then kind of turn back and think about what RPG elements they want to bring back in and make it fill it out again in the future. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm really liking it. I think that if the story begins to fall off, as I've heard some people say, in the end it does, I might put this down if it's like really going to be 50 hours. But yeah, we'll see.
And like, you know, I've seen one person saying that, and I'm like, well, that could be an outlier. Maybe more people. I hope it doesn't fizzle out at the end. I mean, I say what you about 15. Like, it has like a weird third act, but then the actual ending lands, or 15. I think I said 15 for a second. But
you did.
Yeah, so hopefully they do good. But again, the story team is usually so good. It'd be weird to me if they mess that up. But it happens. So we'll see. I'm curious. I definitely need to start it ASAP. Hopefully I have a lot of time to myself this weekend. The
other thing is that active time lore. Christian wants to hear about it, and it really is cool. Was this in the preview when you saw it? Like,
no, but this is the thing that's like based, like isn't this kind of like what we had in Pentiment, right? Like,
yes, the glossary from Pentiment. Yeah. Yes. And it's what it does is you hold down the touchpad at any time, and it will bring up this glossary of who's on the screen, what's on the screen, and where you're at. And the info cards it gives you about all of these subjects is contextually aware of where you are in the story. So it's like, this person is feeling this and doing this because of this. And then as the story progresses and something changes with that character, those title cards will get updated, or those info cards will get updated, and it'll say they just experienced this and now they're feeling this. Now, I think that has some implications in terms of, if you want the characters to sort of convey their feelings through acting and emotions on the screen, you might actually want to avoid active time lore. Now, if you're very curious to like dig deep in the way that you would, like, this information would be available to you if you were reading this as a book. And so I think if you look at it that way, it's just more color. It just adds more information. And overall, the way it works, I think it's just fantastic. I want more games to do this stuff because I really liked it in Pentiment. I really like it here. Hopefully, more games are able to take this as a cue of like, this is a good way to get people into your world and keep them there.
It's kind of a shame that you're the one telling people about the new Final Fantasy game. Well, I just got to kind of sit here and nod.
Yeah, you fucked up, Mike.
I done fucked up.
It's good. I think people are really going to enjoy it. It's going to have a hard time in like whatever game of the year battle. It's going to be a lot of people's favorite game this year, though, I think.
Well, I mean, I bet it'll be up in that nomination list.
I
But
think
yeah,
so,
I don't
too.
think it's going to be able to like topple a Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, but is that what it needed to do? I don't think it needed to be Game of the Year. I think what it needed to do was set a strong foundation for the future of Final Fantasy, and I think it's done that. I think
what it needs to do is sell 10 million copies. Maybe that's a tall order for a PlayStation exclusive. Maybe it needs to sell like 7 million. It needs to sell. If it sold 7 million, that'd be better than the 7 remake, right? So
it would be, and then that would set it up nicely for when it comes to PC, and probably sells about 2.5 million copies on there. So. Yeah, I think it's going to be just fine. I think this is going to be the game that Square Enix wanted and needed.
Enjoy your gaming.
Thank you, Ben Starr. I just been, I talked about it being Tears of the Kingdom and haven't really done too much else on the Switch. I want to actually start playing Final Fantasy III, the Pixel Remaster, but I also feel like I should start that on a stream first. That's what I do with the other two, so I got to wait for that. But otherwise, still just playing a lot of Street Fighter 6, been able to play more Diablo 4, and just still really enjoying those games. It is funny because Street Fighter 6 does have all this content, but what I like to do is I have this one character, Lily. I go in there, I play ranked matches, and that's how I interact with that game. And that's basically all I'm doing, and it's fantastic. It's really snappy. It's easy even during work. Like, all right, I gotta just do a few matches here. My brain is fried. It's a nice little thing. Even though the menus are terrible and quitting that game is a disaster. It's so hard to find it. And then when you do, it always freezes when you say quit. So you have to like Alt F4 it. That's like, oh, Sean says I can brag. I also did. Yes, I am in platinum. I did rank up to platinum.
How did you get to platinum, though? How did you get to platinum?
You were there. You saw it. I was on like a 15. I was on a 15 match win streak.
It was incredibly impressive. It was amazing. It was really good gameplay. It was a lot of fun to watch. Kind of watching you hit those. I barely played the game, so the big counters where it does the little cinematic where you hit people with your two little sticks.
Good.
It looks like it feels good. It looked amazing. It was a lot of fun to watch.
It is just.
Oh, Sean, this is not my competition. He thinks he's going to play in the Scrub League. He's platinum ranked. That's not happening.
I don't think I get to be a part of their little like. We're going to be bad at having.
Yes, I don't think he gets to be in Scrub League. He could be a coach.
I could be a coach now. I don't know. Platinum has been fun though because it has been more 50-50, and there's no more win streak bonuses in Platinum, which is fair. At a certain point, you don't want to really have that. But
the progression does still seem like attainable, right?
It does. It'll be longer, and maybe this is just eventually you get placed into how good you are, and maybe I can improve. Maybe I'm not going to be much better than Platinum, and maybe instead of wanting to grind out Lily to Diamond, I'll be like, well, let's get a different character to Platinum. That will be fun too. I'm still playing Lily for now, and I might kind of throughout this battle pass, which is going on for a couple weeks, but basically enjoying. I have really enjoyed focusing on that one character. I kind of learn about it. And, I play fighting games a lot, but just really getting into this one, I am learning more things that I understood before, talking to Sean and talking to Christian. Like, I know what, like, plus or minus and frame data means now and stuff like this. There's so much content creation happening around this game, so it's a lot of fun to watch these people really know what they're doing. Like, I found the #1 Lily player on Twitch, and I will watch him a lot and kind of just see what he's doing. And, of course, watching Maximilian Dude's videos are always really fun. So, and that's also a funny thing about the fun thing about fighting games in general. It's why I would recommend even like Mario controls is fine. I don't want to throw any shade at anybody who wants to use that. The nice thing about learning classic controls is, well, now you are learning how to play all fighting games, right? So now if you want to play the next like Blaze Blue or King of Fighters, a lot of that stuff transfers, a lot of those kind of skills. So that's what's fun about this. Oh my gosh, look at that. TurboSean just straight up said he's proud of me.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Thank you.
That's weird.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's
been really fun.
I checked. There's no embargo on it. We'll be playing a little bit more Mortal Kombat 1 tomorrow. So that'll be fun.
Stress test. Yes,
Stress
I'm
test.
excited.
So
Get Emma in there. Emma whooped my ass at the preview. I need
I'll
revenge.
see if she has a code. We'll see. I think they are just kind of improving people here and there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll be playing that on UPF tomorrow, everybody. So that'll be fun. I think Tam
I
has
bet
a
it's
code
that-
too.
I bet it's the build we play at Summer Game Fest. I bet it's still those 4 playable characters and those 3 cameos.
I think that sounds right, and that's
Have fun.
fine. That was so much fun. Let's go.
That was so much fun. Which of those 4 characters did you like best? Because I was actually really into Liu Kang.
Liu Kang was my favorite. Yes, Liu Kang just felt great.
He was super fun.
It was easy to get the hang of, is what it was.
Yep.
And then I really like Sonya because of the RKO. She does something. It's
The
between an
RKO 's great.
RKO and a diamond cutter. I was like looking at it, like she almost jumps as high as Randy Orton, not quite
Right.
as high as he does. So it's a good move either way. Okay, Sean, do we have the results of the
Oh, no.
console draft?
I am pulling them up right now.
Do you think you won, Jeff? Do you think
No,
you won?
I
Who do you
don't.
think won?
I think this is a coin flip, and I think here's how it usually goes. I think I start pretty strong and finish weak, and I think you usually start weak and finish strong. I think that you started pretty strong this time, and you kind of kept your momentum, and I think I faded out. So, and I don't know how strong my first couple of picks actually are compared to yours. So,
We'll see.
It's 50-50. I really like your list like normal.
I think our first 3 counter each other out.
Yes, exactly. And that's usually how when
Maybe
I win.
first 4.
If I don't win with those first 4 or 5, I usually don't win. So, yeah, that's why I'm not sure.
All right, you ready for the results?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
Gentlemen, it is 50-50, 50% to 50%.
What
It
the
is a
fuck?
tie.
What?
Oh my god, how many votes were there?
40.
Or so 2020?
I'm allowed to
Okay.
vote, right?
No.
I'll vote
Oh
for
my
you. Did you
God.
vote for me, Mike?
Do we want to
What?
give it to chat as a tiebreaker then?
Yeah, I think so. Let's
All right, chat.
Give it a chat.
Seems fair.
All right.
You're the tiebreaker. Look at this. Your voice matters this time. Wow, I thought it was close, but geez. Okay.
I mean, look at these
Incredible.
lists. This is the one that would be 50-50.
I thought it was close. Yeah, I figured it was going to be.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Interesting. She's like, let's make it 50-50 again.
Second round, let's go.
Incredible. Wow. Okay.
All right.
What is your favorite game on either list, though?
But my favorite one. Okay, if I'm being legit, my favorite game is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. If you had picked the regular Link's Awakening, it would be that. I really don't.
Oh,
like
right.
the X.
I forgot about that.
I really don't like the X.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
color makes Jeff retreat into the shadows.
It looks bad. For Link's Awakening DX specifically, it looks bad. It's a bad use of color in that game.
I think you're insane. I still don't know what you mean by that. I
Like, look
still
at like
never
Super Mario
understood.
Brothers Deluxe looks really good and crisp and colorful.
Because it looks like the NES game that already
Exactly.
had color.
Yes, and Link's Awakening DX is just like we're gonna take the grayscale and apply some color here and there, and actually it looks kind of
It's like muted colors. Yeah,
it's bad.
but
It looks bad.
I think it's pretty.
I like it, but I don't know if I feel that strongly about it. But it's incredible to me that you specifically don't dislike the DX version much more than the original.
You just gotta put yourself in my shoes of like playing Link's Awakening on the Game Boy and falling in love with it, and then getting so excited for Link's Awakening DX, thinking like, oh, it's gonna be a full color remake, and then getting it, and it's like someone just replaced one color with another, and it looks like crap. I'm like, it was like very disappointing, and I got pretty bummed out.
Do you feel similarly about Tetris DX?
I never even like gave Tetris DX a chance because of that. Actually, I don't know.
You were so against DX.
Well, yeah, because they didn't look good to me. Like, yeah, for real.
This
What a
was a lot of Game Boy Color games that started like as like a black and white game, and they added color. Like the
Yeah.
Pokemon games were kind of like that as well. So
Yeah,
it's kinda
Donkey Kong
running.
94 has at least more going on like the title screen and stuff, and so I was like more okay with that. That one looked pretty good.
That was the Super Game Boy Color palette stuff. That wasn't
Right.
even really Game Boy Color.
Right, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, because that was like basically the quote unquote Super Game Boy launch game was Donkey
that's
Kong.
right.
I feel-
Yeah, totally.
Right. So they have promoted it. Okay, so it's like, why are they promoting it so much? It's just a port of Donkey Kong, and then you play it. You're like, oh, this freaking rules, actually.
Oh man, look at this.
When do we want to close the poll? I haven't looked. I don't know.
We it's only been going for 2 minutes. It says so. Let's
Okay,
give it
but-
2 or 3 more.
But vote, everybody, 'cause we're going to wrap up the show. So vote now. We got a couple more super chats.
Yes, Mike. I was going to ask you. Can you read us the last handful of super chats?
Achievement says, does this mean Nintendo acknowledges Gino now? Oh, he's acknowledged. And I'm really getting my hopes up now for him showing up and more stuff, because it seems like it is still the Square Enix owns the right to that character and Mallow thing. But it's like, hey, they're working nice, playing nice together now. Give me more Gino. I mean, there really has been that loud, maybe small group of people yelling for Gino in Smash forever. They gave us like a little bit when they made the Gino costume in Smash 4. Like, come on. Now he's in a quote unquote newer game. It might be a while still before we get the next Smash. That's usually something that's like year 2, year 3 for a new system. But when that happens, and I imagine that game's not going to be too different from just basically being a very nice port of Ultimate, but with some new characters, I sure do hope one of those new characters is Gino.
I think that they are going to put this game out and forget about Gino and Mallow again.
No, don't do that.
I don't want to get my hopes up too much.
But look at them. They're such good characters. Just look at them.
They look fantastic. They really do.
They're just such good characters.
JD
JD Camp says,
okay,
sorry. JD Camp says, no Tenet for the Game Boy Advance video cartridge, shaking my head. Tenet, isn't that what movie is that a movie that came out not too long ago?
Yeah, Tenet's the Christopher Nolan movie. Yeah.
Did somebody was there a meme of like people, because they used to sell like TV shows and stuff for Game Boy Advance. Can't you get Shrek on Game Boy Advance? I should have picked Shrek the movie.
Oh, right. Like, yes, Tenet. Let's see. Yeah, Tenet for Game Boy Advance video cartridge. That's what I thought you meant. Like, okay, yes, that's a very funny thing because Christopher Nolan would lose his mind if Tenet was available on a Game Boy Advance cartridge at like 144p and 2 frames per second.
Lossian says, I normally wait to get games on sale, but I'm getting Final Fantasy 16 day one because of Yoshi P and Soken and the demo. Yeah, see, I bet a lot of just Final Fantasy 14 people are just immediately like right there for Final Fantasy 16 just because it's all of the people that we like.
Yes.
All right, Jeff, you ready to close this poll?
Yes, I am. I'm going to close it right now. And with 52% of the vote, the winner is the Minotti Lynx. Well done, Michael Minotti.
That's a win streak. That's shocking.
Yes, and I think that sounds about right. That your list beat it out by about like 4 points. That seems about right.
So,
yes.
If you have maybe you replace one of your weaker ones with Mario Land 2,
yes,
you might
Astro Boy
would...
with Mario Land 2, I think that would have. Yeah, obviously you could swing a ton when it's this close. So yeah, it was just one bad choice. Yeah.
I mean,
Mega Man Battle Network 3 maybe instead of Mega Man Battle Network. I honestly, who knows about that? But Super Mario Land 2 up there would have really made a difference.
Well, that was a lot of fun, though. None of us were brave enough to pick any Game Gear links.
Yeah.
Or, Neo Geo. I mean, there are some really good Neo Geo Pocket Color games, but I don't know how much the audience cares about how good Capcom versus SNK 2 actually was on the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Right.
I love it.
Oh, God. What are, like, we mentioned a bunch of them. Drill Dozer, Ninja 5.0. I had to stop myself from doing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 or 3. I'm like, I love that, but it's almost like it's like almost like impressive and not necessarily like something that's actually great. I mean, it's great for what it is what it is. Yeah.
I am curious if Boktai hurt me or helped me. I just don't know.
I mean, listen, you won, right? You got to just take it. You got to run with it. You got to dance with the one that brought you, Mike. That's how it works.
I guess so. And then, next time we do this, we can do DS, 3DS, PSP, and Vita. Those will be the pools we pull from.
That's fair.
Once again, I'll be interested just how many PSP or Vita games we pull from. There will actually probably be some.
Yeah, I think there will be some. I should play some PSP games.
But there's a lot of good DS and 3DS games.
There's a lot. Yes, there's a lot.
Maybe we should just do DS and PSP and then 3DS and Vita.
I think we could probably just do DS and PSP.
Yeah, maybe that might be more fun, actually. What the hell? Yeah,
because then we could do some of the weirder picks. I think that
we can get more like PSP and Vita games on there, right?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, Mike, any other games you've been playing, or are we good to wrap up?
No, that's it. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the button then. Let me do that, and then let me unmute it. All right, everybody. Mike, where can they find you on the internet and all that?
Where can you find me? Find me on Twitter, Twitch at To. Brain went dead.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, do that. 90s Disney is going to have a new episode of, we have a new episode of 90s Disney up now about my Universal and Disneyland trip, including, the one I spent some time with Jeff at. And then on July 1st, we're going to have our Goofy movie episode. We already recorded that. It was a lot of fun. So please be excited.
I'm Jeff Grubb on Twitter. I'm Jeff Grubb on Twitch. I streamed a little bit recently. I'm going to stream some more if I can. It's nice.
The Neezer game looks so freaking good.
What's that?
that Ebenezer game you're playing.
Yes.
From the Steam. Oh, that Metroidvania Christmas Carol. Oh, I'm
They
gonna
really
play
nailed
the
it.
shit out of that.
It looks really
It's so
solid.
cozy.
Yep.
Holy crap.
And it's got the I know you're a big cozy game guy. I know that.
Yeah, but like this is cozy because like it's not
It's
cozy because
it
like
appeals to you because it's something you like. We get it.
it's not cozy because they didn't add any textures to all of the 3D models and like there's a piano.
It's cozy because someone's wearing a scarf and there's fires and you can smell the nutmeg
It's
or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So I played a bunch of Steam Next Fest games. Next time I'll probably try to get that Zelda game working. I'll beat that, and then that'll be fun. Giant Bomb.
Everybody's beating it, Jeff.
Everybody's beating it. Look out, because everybody's beating it.
Damn, boy, were you just frying chicken in there?
Thanks, Rouge.
Thanks, Rouge. We appreciate that. Giant Bomb, we got a bunch of fun stuff happening. We'll be doing UPF tomorrow. We'll be playing Crash Team Rumble, which is CTR, just like Crash Team Racing, which is an insane thing that they've done.
That's a bad name.
It's a bad name.
This beta. I can teach you guys how to play it.
Yeah, that'll be great. And then we'll be playing a little bit of Mortal Kombat 1 if we feel the need, which we probably will, because I think that'll be fun to do. So.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Mike, any plans for the weekend?
God, I hope not. I gotta play some video games.
I kind of just want to catch up on stuff, but I think I'm meeting up with the family one of these days. And then,
Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe going to the Toledo Zoo. I don't know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time. Goodbye.
That's the other side of the state.
Got family all over the state. What am I supposed to do?
I went to school in Toledo. You don't want to go to Toledo for one semester. Then
I like Toledo. There's
go
nothing
to
wrong with
Tony
Toledo.
Paco's, though. Go to Tony Paco's.
Oh, yeah. I love Tony Paco's. Toledo's got
that's great.
a really good COSI. The COSI in Toledo's great. And the zoo's great. Fuck you.
Jesus. I knew you would be mad you lost.
Sorry, Chad. I meant to click this.
Most people are beating it right now.
What was
Most
that?
people are beating it right now.